Hello, friends. It is Monday, June 16th. It is 4:20 Pacific time. If you got them, smoke them. Just back from my walk where I made a recording that I'm going to put up in my next video, and after that, I'll do this one. But I'm going to change what I'm calling these. It's going to be as I see it from now on. Put Tea Talk on the shelf because I was editing myself, not to show too much emotion and to avoid using any profanities. Once upon a time, a long time ago, I got caught saying the F bomb. And Dad and Mama Faye pulled me aside and they said, you shouldn't do that. I don't know what age I was, maybe it was 6 or 7. And my dad explained to me that profanity was the refuge of an uneducated mind and that I knew better. As I've grown, I've always tried to respect that. And I think that's true. I would have an addendum to that rule, though, that would say that if there is a situation that is profane, the profanity can be applicable in that circumstance. You know, because this is some F stuff that we're dealing with, right? But I think I'm so heartened. I think so many people are heartened because of the events of Saturday the 14th. I'm going to apologize in the last video. I misspoke on the date. It takes a lot for me to do these videos, to keep my thoughts in line and present what I'm trying to make um, as my point. And as I see it, um, what we are actually engaged in is the culmination of decades of efforts by a lot of nefarious individuals and institutions and foreign entities to turn Americans against themselves and destroy us from the inside. The events of Saturday certainly seem to indicate that no, we're not going to have it. So, how we get through it, I'm uncertain. I don't know. I'm not going to worry about it. Because those worries deter us from being able to speak our voice, and that again adds to their um, effort, uh, their psychological warfare against us, to silence us. No, we're not going to. We're not going to do that. We're not going to be quiet. We, the people, in order to form a more perfect union, are going to resolve this situation. We're activated now, and the numbers of us are going to grow. One of the things that's very heartening, I think, for everybody right now, if you'll notice on the right side of social media, there are, of course, some blusterheads that are saying stupid things, right? Lying outright, trying to twist realities and to serve their purposes. But I think there are fewer people engaging with them, and I think there are fewer people making those noises now. And even the media and the reporting of No King's Day. Wow, okay. They had to show it, right? I've, I've seen some headlines that are misleading, such as thousands gather and protest across the nation. Whatever. Thousands of thousands, okay? And that's what the media does. It twists things. It will misrepresent things because they're not going to come around until the end. We are going to get them. There are brave journalists who are standing up and saying things that need to be said, and they need to be commended, supported. We need to call on the people in the media to stop this nonsense. Tell the boss to F himself and say the truth. How about that? You get fired, great. Guess what? You'll get a book deal. Guess what? Your podcast will boom. Guess what? You'll still have your change, right? Yes, it is scary. The founders pledged their lives and fortune. We're being asked to give something now, okay? We are their posterity. Over the centuries that this country has existed, millions have given their all. And we need to repay that, right? And we need to guarantee that our children have the same ability to be free that we have, right? Oh, and I forgot. I totally forgot. I was hiking Saturday and I forgot to wish someone a happy birthday. So I'd like to send a belated. I saw your parade. It was pathetic, just like you. As I said, I've endeavored not to use profanity. But there are certain situations and things that are so profoundly profane that a profanity in response is just. So, happy belated, mofo. Those of us that are parents, I think, have been given some joy also and relief from all the anxiety also, which is great because it has been such a long haul of bullshit that these treasonous traitors have been spewing out. We're going to make it. We're going to be okay. We have woken up. The sleeping giant is awake, and we the people are not happy, and we're not going to have this. No King's Day, though it will be remembered in history as the start, it really wasn't the first protest, not the first time anyone spoke out against this abysmal example of humanity, who defiles the people's house, who is committing treason every time he opens his damn mouth. Freedom won't be extinguished. We're going to be good. I don't know how we get through it, as I said, but we're going to get through it. No King's Day, though, won't be the biggest. We know that. We all need to work and use compassion and empathy with the people that are still blinded. And we won't reach all of them because there are those among them that are true maggots. They will be Make America Great Again Trumpers until they are dead, unfortunately. Because they know he's lying. They know he's a bigot. They know he's a racist. They know he's a sexist, homophobic, piece of garbage human being. You know why they know it? Because they are. It's an unfortunate truth, ladies and gentlemen. There are some people we will not reach, but their numbers are shrinking. There are people waking up. They can't dispute the reality that they see. There was a line in Andor where Mon Mothma gave a speech before the Imperial Congress, where she said something like, the chasm that exists between what they're telling us and what the reality is growing every day. The American people saw, okay, whether they were in the protest, whether they saw news of the day in their local news, because they did a pretty good job reporting it, whether they saw social media reporting it, or even the legacy media, which is completely corrupt and, plays everything down. But the American people in their experience saw that. And just like the J6 denialists or even the 9/11 denialists, people know things when they experience them. You can't whitewash that. So the American people are waking up, and a lot of those American people voted the wrong way. They got hoodwinked hard, and it's really hard to admit when you're wrong, isn't it? So we have to be good with them. We have to encourage them. We have to make certain that as many people in that movement as we can, we help to get to the place within themselves that they can say, yeah, yikes, that was bad, but I'm better now, and I see it. And together, with the strength of all our voices, we are going to resolve this. Last week Gavin Newsom said that, if the government fails or the branches of government fail, the American people shouldn't feel disheartened because we are the government. Something to that extent. I mentioned that in the previous, and it is just a simple truth. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I am looking forward to seeing when somebody makes the arrangement for the first general strike, where we close it down. Where we look to history, the Velvet Revolution in Czechoslovakia, so many other past movements where entire nations have just said, nope. We need to do that now, ladies and gentlemen. We, the people, are the government. And right now, we need to take the reins and be loud and clear that no, we're not having this. And all of us need to maintain the calm, take care of ourselves, take care of our own physical, mental, spiritual health. And take the time every day to reach out to people that we know and love, that maybe we don't get to talk to or see every day. Pick up the phone and say hi. That fell out of habit. We need to get back to that. The effects of the pandemic is everything became text. Call people. You have this device. You pay for it. Call people. Say hi. Let them hear you. Do a video call, whatever, you young people do all that kind of stuff. I'm 57, and I am blown away by what happened Saturday. It has been such a relief because prior to Saturday, I was a 57-year-old that was completely crushed in spirit. Could not believe what I was witnessing in my lifetime. I'm a parent, so afraid of what the future is going to be for my child. I'm a gay man, a gay married guy. Yeah, just waiting for them to try and invalidate my marriage. So what happened Saturday to me was so important because there was everybody in these protests, all ages, all race, all color, all religion, everybody. And the placards and banners and everything was all individual and diverse. And they want to paint diversity as something that's a weakness. It's our strength. And by that measure, the United States population is the strongest on the planet because this is the most diverse country on the planet. In history, most likely. Our diversity is our strength. And our inclusive nature. Inclusion is good. These people running this regime are a bunch of goddamn morons, is what I think. A whole lot of them are cokeheads or otherwise drug addicts to some extent. And I'm not crashing on people that use drugs. I like marijuana, so what? But these people in charge are morons, and we need to point that out. These are morons. These people are bullying morons and criminals also. And the one who defiles the people's house is, a grotesque example of a human being. And he will be removed. Don't know when, don't know how. Nope, we're done. So that's as I see it, I'll be back on later. I've got other things that are brewing in my mind. Appreciate y'all. I encourage you, as was my first point in Tea Talk, make your voice heard. There's going to be another protest. Don't know when it is. Another celebration of our democracy. I'll be there. I encourage you all to do the same. Make something, voicing your lack of consent, and put it on social media. Just call your friends and family and say, hey, the blam, Don't doom scroll on them, Speak of joy. Speak of what took place on Saturday. The first King's Day. Go carefully, my friends. Spirit be with you.